Hi folks, coming at you with another edition of Netflix or Not-Flix. And just a quick reminder, that's where I watch film that's been recommended by Netflix to me, and I let you know what I think, just so if I say it's a Netflix, that's a thumbs up, it means give it a watch. If it's a Not-Flix, that means it's not very good, don't bother. And on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about a film called What Keeps You Alive. Now, to start off with, I was actually looking forward to this film because it's not just Netflix which has kind of recommended it to me. I tend to watch a lot of kind of top five lists over the year, and I've seen it pop up a lot on the top five best horror movies of 2018 lists. I've seen it pop up like two or three times, and it's kind of a film I've earmarked to keep my eye out for and to watch it when I get the chance. So yeah, when I saw it on Netflix, I thought, brilliant, this is just what I want. This is the kind of film I'm into. I'll give it a go. It's been highly recommended on a couple of lists. So the basic plot is a gay married couple go away to a house in the woods that's owned by one of them for the weekend to celebrate their first year anniversary, and things take quite a dark turn while they're there. And I mean, I'm not going to go too much more into it because it's a bit spoilery, I suppose. I mean, unfortunately, as much as I was looking forward to this film, it was a bit of a letdown, if I'm honest. I wanted to like it, I really did, and it started off, it was quite promising, it built up the story quite well. It was quite tense in a few places, and when things really did kind of kick off, it held my interest, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. I really genuinely was into the movie. And then after about an hour, it shifts kind of plot points. Like, it seems to be going one way, and then it just stalls and goes in a different direction. And I think that was a mistake. It kind of lost me there because I was with it up until that point, and I was wondering. It's basically a film about survival. Somebody being stalked in the woods. That kind of thing. Yeah, so like I say, it held my interest. I was really kind of into it until about an hour where they shifted the focus completely, almost, and it became almost like a different kind of movie. It kind of stalled any momentum it had, and then it never really got it back again, I don't think, for me. I mean, the acting, what can I say about the acting? The acting was good. I mean, everyone was believable in the roles. The main protagonist, the only issue I had with her was she made literally every bad decision that you can think of in a horror movie. Like, she didn't make she made one or two good decisions, but mostly she was just terrible. She was like, you were screaming at the telly, like, just, oh, don't do that, what are you doing? And it was frustrating because it was like, I can suspend my disbelief to a certain point when it comes to films, but after a certain point it becomes ridiculous, and that's what happened in this film. Like, she had so many opportunities to kind of save herself and get out of trouble and end everything, and she never took them. She always took like the hardest route possible, and it's disappointing because, like I say, in that first hour it was developing quite well. She kind of seemed like she had a really good strong survival instinct, and she was actively trying to escape from the situation, and then yeah, just like I say, all momentum was lost, and she became like just a passive participant in the movie up until she kind of changed again towards the end. And yeah, it was a bit messy, and it was a shame because I think there's a good movie in there. And like I say, the first hour was pretty good, and then it just kind of all falls apart a bit. There's also one scene that really annoyed me involving a tranquilizer dart. And the only thing I'll say is, if you're going to use a tranquilizer dart at some point in your film, you need to set that up somewhere along the way. You don't just have it magically appear, like, for no reason, just to help the plot kind of progress. And that's kind of what happened here. I don't know, maybe I missed a scene. I don't know where or how I did, because I was watching the film all the way through. I don't think I missed a scene where they kind of set up that there was a tranquilizer dart knocking around. It just magically appeared when the plot needed it to, and that really annoyed me. It's kind of like, if you're going to do that, don't insult your audience. Like, let them know that this is going to be part of the plot at some point. It didn't happen. Like I say, maybe I missed a scene. I don't know. I don't think I did. The ending's a bit bittersweet, I guess. It's like, again, with the bad decision making process, it's just terrible. It's yeah, in some ways it was a satisfying ending, but in other ways it was like, well, it didn't have to go that way. You know, you could have done something completely different. But that's my opinion. So overall, I'm afraid I'm going to have to give this one a Not-Flix. So even though I was hyped for the film going into it, even though I enjoyed some of it, it kind of let me down towards the end. It seemed to lose its way. It didn't know what to do with itself, and that's not good. And also the plot point about the tranquilizer dart. I don't know why, it just really annoyed me. Things like that really bug me in films. So yeah, Not-Flix from me, unfortunately. If you do like films like this, where it's kind of survivalist and, you know, people in the woods getting chased, I'd recommend a film called Eden Lake, which stars Michael Fassbender and Jack O'Connell, and that was really good. That's the benchmark for me, because when I finished watching that film, it left me quite disturbed for days afterwards, and the whole reason is because that's a very real situation. Like, you could imagine that you could be in that situation that the people in that film were in, and it's terrifying to think that, because it's not some like boogeyman or a ghost or demon. It's like, this is real. This is real life. And that, yeah, it really kind of, even thinking about it now, it makes me feel uneasy, and that's great. That's what I want from a film. I want to have that kind of emotional reaction. Unfortunately, What Keeps You Alive didn't do it for me at all. So yeah, give this one a miss and watch Eden Lake instead. That would be my advice. But yeah, What Keeps You Alive? It's a Not-Flix from me. I'll catch you guys next time.